Hey, and we're live. At least I think we're live. Let's see if I can get some good lighting on any of this so you can see what I'm doing. All right. I am just getting myself set up here. I don't even know if there's anybody in the chat room yet. Haven't seen anybody. All right, give me just a moment here. The cat was being a little bit of a problem before I started, so I'm going to go see if he's going to be cool. And I will be right back. Are we cool? You're going to be cool, man? All right, man. Like a little Fonzie. Let's go. Here we are. My wife is still out of town. Oh, excuse me. She's coming back into town today, but I'm still alone, so I don't have a cat sitter. And these two need one, I tell you what. Hopefully my sound is good. Then again, if I'm going to cough like that, maybe not. All right. Today, I'm going to paint red stuff because I've got some red stuff to paint. These exorcists, for one. Let's see if I can get a little more light for you. Oh, it's not that well lit. That's a little better. There we are. Today, I am going to take various light red colors here and do some glazing and set up some highlights where light would be reflecting off of his armor. And I've got a couple of other little things to work on too. Just sprayed these, so I am unwrapping what I've done like a little Christmas gift. because I blocked off the center. After I primed him with white scar. How's my sound? There we go. There we go. Oops. Hey, Copper, what are you doing? There we go. Chuck Hepner. Hey, thanks for coming. Oh, are you getting the doom spiral? I hit a bad button there for a moment. I'm sorry. How's my sound? Awesome. Coffer, what are you doing, man? Hey, I thought we were going to be cool. Psst, psst, dude. Oh, one moment. Someone's being a destructive little monkey. Come on, man. I thought we were going to be cool. That is distinctly not a cool thing to do. No. You don't get those bits. Come on, man. There we are. At first I thought he was going to be cool and just kind of lay down for a moment and take a nap, but no, he's not doing that. Excellent. Sound is good. And I've got a couple of people here. Thank you for coming. I know this is probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I find it relaxing. And people need relaxing things to do. At the moment, I'm just getting all the little bits of clean tack off of the barrel because clean tack loves to stick to itself. So I'm just picking up all the scraps. So when I start painting, I don't wind up with blank spots when the clean tack comes off again. There we go. And that's looking pretty good. Excellent start. And whoa! Serious fail there. Serious fail. What did I do? Rotate device back. Let's see. What did I do here? Okay. Well, let's see how my MacGyver rig works. There we go. Better. Now let's get you back into... hello, Barrymore. Glad you could make it. There we go. That's a little better. Now the orientation did it again. Let's see. Well, that's odd. If you all can still see, I can still see, even though it tells me my orientation is locked. Whatever that means. All right. Someday, I'm not going to do this with a mobile device, and I'll have a dedicated camera. But at the moment, this is flying by the seat of my pants, so I hope I'm not showing off the crack of my ass. And if I am, sorry. I love the Smedley Butler. Chuck's always got the best quotes. There we go. So today I'm just going to work with red because I've got red glazing to do with this guy, and I've got red to work on here, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to start with some Mephiston Red from Citadel and get it on my palette and thin it out a little. Now, I hope you're all not bored that I'm not playing music or anything like that during my live streams, because I want you to do whatever you're inspired to do in the background as you paint. And whether that's listen to a lore channel, and there's a lot of really cool lore channels depending on what you're painting. I like the 40K channels. A Border Prince is a really great one. 24/7 Warhammer 40,000 radio. Great stuff. But then again, you can listen to music, all kinds of music to listen to. So much inspires me to paint. And it really depends on what I'm painting that day. Jim Ettelberg is easily entertained. Excellent, because I am too. And that's a good thing. Forgive me if I bump this once in a while, as the best way I've found to get you able to see what I'm doing is to stick this camera right in my face. And because of my optics, I am going to bump it once in a while. But that's better than looking at the top of my head, which is what I was getting last. And while I do have beautiful hair, I don't really need to show it off that much. Indeed, Chuck, if you are bored, you're doing something wrong. There is plenty to do in the world, even if you can't leave your house, which is where I'm at. Forgive my ongoing chest congestion. As soon as I am doing this in a less MacGyver-like way, I'll have a cutout button for my microphone so I can kill that cough. Because that's just not cool. I don't want to cough at you, especially with this microphone so close to my mouth. Here I'm just adding a layer of red to reinforce the red that I sprayed and take away that glossy texture that some of these rattle can primers give you. I find this is an excellent way to just lose yourself in something. Forget a couple hours about everything around you. And just enjoy creating something. Oops. Slightly more red just to get this. Now, whether or not anybody shows up for these much, I'm going to do this, I think, every Saturday for at least an hour in the mornings. I'm probably going to go with this time so that my friends in the UK and the rest of Europe can make it. And so that it's not too damn early for anyone on the West Coast. I hope everyone has been having an excellent holiday season. I've had a really nice quiet one. Getting a little thick there, so put a little water on the brush and just thin out those brush strokes. Once again, a little water. Oh yes, cat hair. Beautiful cats. Tri-colored hair on the barrel. I suppose it adds texture. Ooh, I went and done it. Well, good thing we can cover that up. It's paint. These barrels here are from a kit by Games Workshop. The Munitorum container kit. It's a really nice drop terrain. Great stuff. It's plastic. It's easy to put together. They look neat on the table. Really easy to paint stuff. Set this down for a moment. See, is it dry enough to set down? That side is. There we go. Now, what did I do with the hand sanitizer? Aha! Hand sanitizer is lovely to take paint off your hands, just like rubbing alcohol, just a little thicker. And seeing as I don't want red on that pretty white, as much as possible, take that off of my fingertips. There we go. Hey, I'm glad you showed up, Barrymore. You have a good day, and stay safe, brother. All right, I think we got enough on that guy. I'll move on to white later. Let's get on to a little bit of glazing with him, because I went with a little bit of Black Templar and I got into the deep recesses. And now everywhere that I've gotten it a little too dark, I want to blend it out into the rest of the red. So I'm going to use a really thin glaze, and I am going to stipple it. And then as it dries, I'm going to add a little bit of white into the red and get it lighter and lighter. And then I'm going to set up some reflections, spots where the light would be coming up off of, whatever illumination source is reflecting off of him. I'll start a highlight there. And we'll just get thinner and thinner with that and add a little bit of white every time until I like the look of the reflection and the glaze is almost white, and I'm just tinting an almost white glaze with red. just a little more pigment. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. Just a not super thick glaze. Forgive my occasional breathing here. It's really helpful to steady your hands. Kind of the same breathing my dad taught me shooting. It's that inhale, exhale, inhale, slowly exhale some of it, and hold. And you can keep your hand steady for a little while. But it also has a lot to do with having things to steady your hands on. A good tabletop. I got a nice piece of foam I lay on the tabletop and put my wrists on so that, yeah, they don't hurt. I always loved painting exorcists. They got that beautiful red color. Really, I think they've got some of the creepiest lore in the entire game based off their chapter habits. Always found that appealing. I hope this is visible. Is the lighting okay? I get a little dark on my screen because I have light reflecting off the screen. So I can't quite tell. Eventually, when I've got a decent camera, then we'll have a better setup. Won't quite be in my face there. Oh, I'm sure you just heard the notification on my phone. Must mean my wife made it somewhere. That's really interesting, Chuck. I did not realize that. As I have a lot of trouble with the vagus nerve, I imagine that's why I've been using this technique so much. Because it really helps. Painting is wonderfully meditative. Take your mind off of a whole lot. And I tell you what, there's a lot of things a lot of people need to let go of. So I really hope some of this can be of use to someone. A little too much water there. No worries, just dry off the brush. And soak some of that back up. Moving from the shadow to the light. Sort of a matter of pick the brush up where you want the pigment to stop and sit. I tell you what, every week I read Chuck Hepner's quotes. I find another book I want to read. Got my glaze a little too thick there. That's better. Hey, it's going pretty good. How are you doing this morning? I'm glad you could make it. Forgive me if it's a little quiet and boring, but just relaxing and doing a little painting. I'm just doing a little stippling glaze. Oh, some coffee is an excellent idea. Like I'm not already shaking enough. Let's set him down for just a moment. And there we go. What I'm trying to do is use the glaze to make the top part of the plates a little brighter than the bottom part of the plates, to try to sell that lit from above look. And you know, hey, I've got it quiet here, but we don't have to have it quiet. You can turn on whatever else you like that inspires you to paint or model in any game, whether it's a Warhammer product or some other product. I know there's other war games, right? Personally, it's been a long time since I've played any games. I mostly just paint. Not that I don't enjoy the playing. I just don't go to the public places very often anymore because I'm just not able to. But I sure do love painting. So I'm going to stick to that. And occasionally, when I am able, I will get together with people that I've been hanging out with already. And I know have been recently tested for things and are cool with taking those extra precautions because I've got to take those. All right, and I am putting a little Corax white onto the palette, which is just slightly not white, enough to use for shadows on white. I find white to be one of the most difficult things to convincingly paint, but I am getting better and better at it. This guy's helmet is one of the better ones I've done so far as white goes. And here, I'm just going to go by and, oh wait, no, other barrel. Haha. My oops. And there went that. Bye-bye, oops. I wonder if that noise was in the house or out in the yard. What is Coffer doing? Or is it his sister? She is just as naughty at times, if not worse, because she thinks she can get away with it. And I have this Corax white really thinned down. It's not quite a glaze. I mean, almost a thick glaze. But I'm just going to change the tone of that white slightly. So that then I can go back with brighter white and develop highlights and sell your eye on the whole thing being, pretty and white. And this morning, I would like to give a shout out to one of the guys who really kind of convinced me to give this a try even. I want to thank Dave from MS Paints. Really great channel. Definitely watch his stuff. He does amazing work. And wow. That's that's how you teach yourself how to do stuff. The advice that Dave gave me, I use all the time. And oh my God, can that guy make terrain? His gaming tables are amazing. I'm painting the Exorcist chapter of Space Marines. I haven't got any of the markings on them yet. On this shoulder, there'll be like a horned skull, and then there'll be rank and squad markings on the other shoulder, and one on his knee. And if I'm really feeling steady one of these days, I will go in and freehand white hexagramic symbols all over on his leg plates and a couple of other big plates because, you know, got to have stuff to protect you against the demons. Thank you, Chuck. Now, I gave up on painting for quite a few years because the shaking and the tremors and the progression of this disease just got too bad for a while. So I wasn't able to paint. I wasn't able to make jewelry. I wasn't able to really create anything. But between seeing what Dave does and some friends of mine that really wanted to paint and really wanted to get into the game, I got back into it again. And I'm very glad that I did. And don't get me wrong, it can be an expensive hobby. But there's ways to make some of it a little cheaper. Ooh, that got a little thick there. Now I'm hoping one day that I actually get people to show up and paint with me. Let me know what you're painting, what you like to paint. And heck, if this isn't your bag and you like to paint something else, that's awesome too. It's all about doing something that you find relaxing and you find helps you to escape, helps you to get away for a little while. Creative expression is a wonderful escape. Whether you paint miniatures or you paint pet portraits, or whatever you paint landscapes. Another trick I've found with white is keep everything nice and thin. And don't be afraid to stop for a while and let everything dry real nice so that you don't create brush marks because they immediately ruin the effect. Oh, there's that little spot again. Now that we're dry, I can see that. All right, take a little shake break here. All right. Just keep hitting my coffee here. Oh, I went with a little chocolate and a splash of Irish cream in it this morning. Tasty. Yellow is a mystical experience. Wow. Yeah. Oh. Once I get done with these exorcists here, at least this squad of them, I'm going to start working on a project. Well, a couple of them for some friends. One of them is for my buddy, the Reverend JT Sexy. I don't think he has this company champion painted up as a Black Templar, and he runs with Black Templars. So I'm gonna paint that sucker up for him because I think he'd really enjoy it. And I've known that guy for a while. Since he was a kid. I get by in this world because of people like him. So I'm going to paint him up a company champion. And then another friend sent me some miniatures to paint. And I think I'm going to do some of that live. And I'm going to do some of that in video. But he sent me a Battletech lance to paint because, wow, back in the day, we used to play the hell out of some Battletech. Oh, the basement battles we would have with big giant monster fighting robots. So much fun. So, just kind of a blast from the past. I'm going to clean up some neat plastic Battletech miniatures and paint those up because it's a way different scale and much different style of painting. And I think it should be really fun. I might pull the airbrush out for those. Though I pull the airbrush out for just about everything. I mean, like as far as my Marines go. I start with the airbrush. And you get a really awesome, smooth finish with no brush strokes. And then you can start your highlighting and shading from there. And you can do that with the airbrush, or you can do that with the brush. I like to combine the two techniques. I think it looks really great when you start with the airbrush and you get your base coats down with that airbrush. All right, I need to step away for just a couple of minutes. So I will be right back and we'll call that intermission. So forgive me, but I have to step away for just a minute or two. I will be right back. Oh, then it's good to get up and actually stretch stuff once in a while. Oh, especially the stuff that doesn't want to stretch. And I'm back. Oh, I hope you get some relief from that pinched nerve, Chuck. Those suck. Something fierce. Nerve pain in general is not a prize I would want to win. All right. And get back to the Mephiston Red glaze here that I've been doing. There we go. That's about the consistency I am looking for. Old age is punishment for having lived. And I tell you what, I happily accept my punishment. I've gotten a lot more than I was told I was going to have. A few times. I gotta say, most days, I wake up in the morning with this mix of amazement and bewilderment that I'm still ticking. Not that I'm sad. I'm surprised. Especially some of those days when, wow, I can't even sit up. Those are the days I'm like, wow, you can feel this crappy and still live? Yes, yes you can. And it's better that you do. The alternative does not bear thinking about. The trick with glazing is to keep it so thin that if you don't like what you've done, it's easy to do something else and not notice later. I'm still getting the hang of this object source lighting painting, and I love it. It's a very difficult effect to learn. Figuring out exactly where to put the light and the shadows is the trick. And there's quite a trick to it. But once you get that trick, oh, it looks so good. There are some painters out there that can do it so well. I mean, wow. Yeah, got a little paint chunky there. I will have to do something about that. A little too thick. That's better. slowly, layer after layer, just trying to build the effect. Every couple layers, I add just a touch of white to the red. And then if I get a little out of control with highlights, I can always add in a little black to the red and go back in and deepen shadows, or use something like a contrast and thin it down with some sort of medium so that it runs into the recesses nicely. Ah, now there's a quote I've heard. Painting is another way of keeping a diary. Here I've added just a little bit of black back into the red. Just to go back into that recess. I'm just taking a moment here to build myself a lighter colored glaze. I don't want it too thick, but I also don't want it like super transparent. A little thinner. Excuse me. Just a touch of water here to tone that down just a little. And I left the studio door open. I'm surprised I didn't get an onrush of cats. And then a little Mephiston Red glaze without the white or the black. There we go. Starting to get some nice reflection off the top of the split there, but not gloss. And then back into the lighter color. All right, starting to get a nice red here. All right. Clean this brush out real nice. These are excellent brushes, and if you take care of them, they will take care of you. All right. Well, I think I am going to get up move around a little bit, get a couple of things straightened out before my wife gets home. Not like I trashed the house while she was gone or anything. But it's awfully nice to come home from vacation and not have things to do. Well, let's see now. Where did I put that? Oh, the little paint tube at the end. Ah, there it is. These things are clear plastic. It just, they disappear so easily. I'd like to thank everyone who showed up to paint with me for showing up and chatting with me. I really enjoy this, and I gotta say, whether or not people show up, I'm gonna do this anyway. So come join me on Saturdays in the morning, and we'll paint for an hour or so. And, if we find something interesting, maybe we'll paint for a few hours. I'd like everyone to have a safe and happy new year. Thank you for joining me. And please like, subscribe, share, check me out on Patreon. If you're able to, please contribute on Patreon. It would really help the channel out. Everything helps. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Have a great day.